Perez had a family emergency, so he will be excused. And hopefully our other trustee will be arriving shortly. I don't know. At this time, if we could have the Pledge of Allegiance, if I could have Trustee Oden lead us in that, please.
Rededicating ourselves to our country by saluting our flag. Let us begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I have a different pair of glasses on today. I just figured out they're bifocals. I had them down on my nose. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you so much for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Wait a sec. Wrong place. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2B2, the board may take action on items of business not appearing on the posted agenda upon a determination by a 2/3 vote of the board. If fewer than 2/3 of the members are present, a unanimous vote of those present. To determine there is a need to take immediate action and that the need for action came to the attention of the local agency subsequent to the agenda being posted as specified. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda for April 19th, 2024? Seeing none, the agenda stands approved as presented without objection. At this time, we'll have the public comments. Requests to address the Board of Trustees regarding regular agenda items. Remote public participation is allowed and will be accepted in person by email or to otp@collegeofthedesert.edu during the meeting and submitted for the record, or by using the raise your hand function by joining the Zoom link. Pursuant to District Administrative Procedure 2345, each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes per topic. 15 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of a majority of the board, these limits may be extended. All comments must be submitted or brought forward prior to the end of the public comment section. As an additional note, this item is intended for members of the public who wish to speak regarding regular agenda items. An opportunity to address the board on matters not related to the agenda will be available during item 20.01 of today's agenda. Do we have any public comments that we've received?
There are no public comments at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Moving on, we're now into public updates. Proclamations. The very first one we have is for International Nurses Day. President Hope, please help us introduce our reader.
Thank you, Chair Stefan. At this time, I'd like to ask Vice President Martinez Garcia to introduce our reader, and this is a particularly important proclamation because our nursing program is so central and important to the Valley and to the college. So, Vice President Martinez Garcia.
Thank you, President Hope. Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to introduce to you today Director Sarah Fry, Director of the Nursing Program and Allied Health Programs. Sarah has been instrumental in the growth of our programs and as well as heading up a lot of our community collaborations with local hospitals and the local health industry. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today Director Fry.
Thank you. Good morning, trustees, Madam Chair, and President Hope. Thank you for the opportunity to present the proclamation for National Nurses Day. Joining me for the reading today is Lisette Ramirez, a dedicated nursing student, nearing completion, 5 more weeks. Yes. Lisette has actively participated in our peer mentorship program. She volunteers with the Coachella Valley Street Medicine Program. She served as an officer and active member of our Student Nurse Association. On top of her academic commitments, she's deeply involved with her church. She's a native of the Coachella Valley, and she plans to contribute to our community as a pediatric critical care nurse.
Good morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. Proclamation International Nurses Day. Whereas Florence Nightingale was the founder of nursing as a modern profession, a profession dedicated to the service and well-being of others. And whereas registered nursing is the largest healthcare profession, continually working to improve healthcare. And whereas nurses provide many types of healthcare services, including bedside nursing, in hospitals and long-term care facilities, and research institutions. And whereas state legislators, Congress, and individual groups within the nursing profession constantly seek ways to provide care for the expanding healthcare needs of the United States, California, and of the Coachella Valley. And whereas the nursing programs at College of the Desert are of the finest and most successful in the state of California, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District that May 6, 2024 be designated as National Nurses Day to honor the dedication, commitment, and tireless efforts of the nation's nurses. Thank you.
And a big thank you out there to Lizette and Sarah. And congratulations, Lizette. I hope to be at your graduation ceremony. Okay. At this time, we'll move on to the proclamation for Faculty Appreciation Week. President Hope, please help us introduce our reader.
Thank you so much, Chair Stefan. As we all know, the faculty are the reason that we are all here and our students are here. So we want to acknowledge the importance to our community and to the mission of our work. And I'd like to ask Vice President Martinez Garcia to introduce our reader today.
Thank you, President Hope, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today Dr. Chris Jones-Cage, psychology professor. Chris Jones-Cage has been with the college since 2007, serving as a faculty member, as well as an advocate for the Black Student Success Center. Without her leadership and without her guidance, I don't know where we'd be in that arena. So we are very, very appreciative for all the work she's done and the team over there have done to support student equity and student success. Without further ado, Dr. Chris Jones-Cage, please come on up.
Good morning. Good morning. Proclamation Faculty Appreciation Week. Recognizing the roles and contributions of educators of the United States in building and enhancing the civic, cultural, and economic well-being of the United States. Whereas education and knowledge are the foundation of the current and future strength of the United States. And whereas faculty encounter students of widely differing backgrounds and who face myriad daily challenges and have a variety of learning needs. And whereas faculty continue to explore and implement new ways to support their students and community, supporting the mental health of students, providing meals to students in need, and whereas faculty have earned and deserve the respect of their students and community for their dedication to spending many hours preparing learning experiences, evaluating progress, counseling and supporting students. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees hereby recognizes and wishes to honor the contributions of all its faculty to quality education in the state of California and the Desert Community College District, and declare the week of May 19th through May 25th, 2024 as Faculty Appreciation Week. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jones-Cage, and thank you to all of our incredible faculty here at College of the Desert. And we're going to move on to the next proclamation. It's Classified School Employees Week coming up. So President Hope, please help us introduce our reader.
Thank you, Chair Stefan. As we all know, our classified staff are sometimes the first point of contact for many of our students, and they provide a supportive, friendly, helpful environment for all of our students to thrive and learn. So because of their importance, I'd now like to ask that Omar Fimbres, our CSEA president, introduces the readers for this proclamation. Thank you, Omar.
Absolutely. Good morning, trustees and President Superintendent Hope. I would like to introduce Mark Rizzo, laboratory specialist for the Computer Information Systems program from the School of Applied Sciences and Business. Mark will be reading our proclamation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam President, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for allowing me to read this proclamation. It's a proclamation classified School Employee Week. Whereas in 1986, California Senate Bill 1552, Campbell, established the third week of each May as Classified School Employee Week in order to recognize the vital contributions of classified employees to higher education. Whereas classified professionals provide invaluable services to the staff and students of College of the Desert. And whereas classified professionals contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive instructional environment and support environments. And whereas classified professionals employed by College of the Desert strive for excellence in all areas relative to the educational community, using their talents and strengths to promote student achievement. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees hereby recognizes and wishes to honor the contributions of the classified professionals to quality education in the state of California and the Desert Community College District, and declare the week of May 19th through May 25th, 2024 as Classified School Employee Week at College of the Desert. Thank you.
And if we may, we would like to present to our President Hope and to Ms. Bonnie Steffen a gift of appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And I'd like to thank the classified staff as well as Mark Rizzo and Omar Fimbris, and best of luck. I hope you have a great day, or a great week it is, excuse me. The next item is proclamation for Asian Pacific Islanders Heritage Month. And if I could have President Hope please help us introduce our readers here.
Thank you, Chair Steffen. The presence and contribution of our Asian Pacific Islander faculty and students and staff are essential to our success, and I'd like to ask Vice President Martinez Garcia to introduce our reader.
Thank you, President Hope. Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to introduce to you today Jen Ann Denning, Assistant Professor for Library and Information Studies. Jen is also an advocate and helping to assist us with the promotion of ZTC OER, which is a very, very important part of our processes right now we're trying to get to. So Jen, if you'd come on up and read your proclamation, as well as Jen is also a staunch advocate for students in the library, and we really appreciate everything she does every day.
Thank you. Good morning, Captain. Good morning, President. Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. Actually, I was telling Armando this is especially meaningful for me this year because I just got into the Asian American Studies master's degree program at San Francisco State University. So, thank you. So, the Proclamation for Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Whereas, in May 1990, then President George Bush declared the month of May as Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And in May 1991, Governor Pete Wilson also proclaimed this holiday as Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month in California, the Golden State. And whereas the Desert Community College District employs an increasing number of personnel of Asian Pacific ancestry, and there is an ever-increasing number of students served by the Desert Community College District who are of this heritage. And whereas the history of the United States encompasses the unique culture and rich legacy passed down from the ancestry of Asians and Pacific Islanders. And whereas the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District recognizes the many contributions and accomplishments of the Asian and Pacific Islanders for their tenacity in pursuing the highest standards and ideals attainable. And whereas the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District encourages the illumination of the rich cultural heritage and ethnic diversity within the greater Coachella Valley as part of the district's commitment to cultural awareness programs. Whereas we must strengthen our institutional commitment to the respect and dignity for all.
And we now vow to continue our work to support and teach diversity, equity, and inclusion within our college and community. And therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District hereby declares May 2024 as Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month at the Desert Community College District in appreciation of the achievements and contributions made by Asians and Pacific Islanders to the educational programs of the Desert Community College District. The Board of Trustees encourages all of the faculty, staff, and students to promote and join in the observances throughout the Desert Community College District, city, state, and nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Jin and Dunning for that reading, and I can see why people want to go to the library and listen to the librarian read to them. I mean, that was just really, woo! Okay. And now we're going to move on to the next proclamation. This is for National Foster Care Month. President Hope, please help us introduce our reader.
Thank you, Chair Stefan. As you know, we provide a lot of additional support for students at this college. And in particular, we try to provide additional support to our foster youth and want to make sure that they succeed. So with that, I'd like to ask Vice President Martinez Garcia to introduce our reader for this proclamation.
There it goes. The button wasn't going on. Thank you, President Hope. Much appreciated for that. Board of Trustees, Madam Chair, it is my pleasure to introduce you today Philip Salas, Associate Professor of Counseling, who will introduce Madeline Nunley to read the proclamation.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Philip Salas, and I'm a counselor in Foster Youth Services Program here at College of the Desert. On any given year, there are nearly 400,000 kids in the foster care system in the United States. Recent studies show that 2 to 6% of these kids obtain a 2-year college degree and only 3 to 4% obtain a 4-year degree. These children face multiple obstacles and hurdles that would cause many others to crumble under similar circumstances. The students in the foster care youth services are strong, resilient people that I am honored to work with. May is federally recognized as Foster Care Awareness Month. We take time to raise awareness of issues related to foster care and acknowledge the parents, family members, foster parents, child welfare, and related professionals, mentors, policymakers, and other members of the community who help children and youth in foster care find permanent homes and meaningful connections. To read our declaration, I would like to introduce you to Madeline Nunley, also known as Lynn. Oh, sorry, wrong side. Madeline will be earning degrees in psychology, sociology, and child and adolescent development at COD. She has applied to various colleges and universities. However, she awaits her confirmation from her dream school, UCLA. Once attaining her bachelor's, she will work to attain her PhD and open a nonprofit youth and adolescent center to help guide children through any obstacles and be a mentor for them and provide an assortment of services that will cater to the improvement of their quality of life. Madeline has remained on the dean's list for her entire tenure at College of the Desert, as well as receiving a foster youth scholarship. She is currently in her second year of the College Corps and acts as the IE Regional Ambassador. She is the president of the Fostering Knowledge Club, a member of the Futures Educators Club, and secretary of ASCOD. In her capacity as ASCOD, she has hosted a food distribution, giving away 200 turkeys to students and faculty and staff. She has organized activities for Welcome Week on both Indio and Palm Desert campuses. She has assisted with Club Rush and participated on a student panel for foster youth services, college-bound resource fair for our local high school students. She has participated in President Hope's Spring Flex Address, ASCOD student panel. She'll be hosting a mental health fair for students before the end of spring and has been instrumental in restarting the Fostering Knowledge Club. I am honored to introduce Madeline Nunley.
Thank you, guys. I will be reading the proclamation Foster Care Month. Whereas National Foster Care Month has been observed in the United States since 1988, and every April, the President of the United States hereby proclaims May as National Foster Care Month to honor the absolute courage of the young people in foster care, who too often endure challenges that no child should ever have to confront. And we give thanks to the dedicated kinship and foster parents who care for them during their times of greatest need. Whereas National Foster Care Month celebrates foster youth and the people who provide them with love and support, it is our duty to help vulnerable children and children welfare professionals and the families they serve with the resources they need to thrive. And whereas children and families of color, as well as youth in foster care who identify as LGBTQIA, have been disproportionately overrepresented in foster care, it is essential that we invest in culturally supportive services to nurture all children and families who are impacted by the welfare system. And whereas, College of the Desert offers current and former foster youth a safe, welcoming environment at the Foster Youth Center in which to thrive, offering academic, career, transfer, and personal counseling, Priority 1 registration, assistance with student educational plans, textbook assistance, school supplies, assistance with the Chafee grant application, meal cards, food pantries, on-campus nutritional support, computer lab and printing, grant and scholarship assistance, biweekly fostering knowledge club meetings, and referrals to county and state agencies for housing instability and food insecurity. And whereas the Board of Trustees of the Desert College Community College District reminds everyone that we all have to have a vital role to play in supporting our students who were in foster care at some point in their lives. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District hereby declares May 2024 as National Foster Care Month at the Desert Community College District. The Board of Trustees encourages all faculty, staff, and students to promote and join in observances throughout the Desert Community College District, city, state, and nation. Thank you.
So for Foster Care Awareness Month, the color is blue. Sunny is our Vice President of Fostering Knowledge. He's actually about to become an alumni of COD as well. He's graduating, what's your degree in?
Psychology.
Psychology, going to Fullerton? Yeah. Fullerton. And he'll be presenting the board members with a pin if they would, we would be honored if they wear it. And May 1st, we're gonna be having an open house in South Annex. Light refreshments, very light. And also we invite faculty and staff to pick up a pen as well, starting the week of the 28th, so they can support kids in foster care. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Associate Professor Philip Salas, and I'd like to thank Madeline and Sunny, and I wish Madeline and Sunny the very, very best in your future, and keep us posted. Okay, we always want to know how our students are doing, but particularly our foster students. So thank you very much for presenting for us today. We really appreciate that. President Hope? I'm sorry. Now we're down to new employee appointments. So President Hope, please help us introduce our newest.
If I can say a word before we move on.
Oh, yes.
You know, we take time to do these proclamations, and they are important to us. And I think today, in particular, so many of them speak to me as a faculty member who recently left the faculty here at College of the Desert to acknowledge the work and contributions of our faculty is really important. But I also was a member of the classified union for a number of years here as well. And at another point in my life, I was the director of a boys' home, and most of the boys who were in the home at some time or another spent time in foster care. So there's just so many things today that speak to me and about the work that we're doing here and the services that we are providing. Thank you all for coming and sharing so much of your personal experience with us. God bless.
Thank you. Hey, going back to the agenda. President Hope, please help us introduce our newest employee appointments.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my pleasure to direct people's attention to the list of new employee appointments. And we have a number of them: Victoria Guerrero, Kayla Macias, Isabella Volaro, Elizabeth Alvarez, Tanner Brown, Talon Hart, Max Hernandez, Mitzi Hernandez, Patrick Jacobs, and Kaylee Vilchel Russell. If any of you folks are there, would you please stand so we can acknowledge you and welcome you properly? We also included these folks in our team, on our team: Raul Beltran, Mariela Guerrero Ramirez, Nichelle Mendoza, Ryan McWay, Andres Ruiz Felix, Miguel Ruvalacabra, Marion Harris, Andrea Havlin, Barbara Jordan, Angel Lua, Rebecca Moreno, Nicole Patel, David Purnell, and Taryn Rogers. Any of our folks from this list, if you're here, if you could please stand so we can acknowledge you as well. And then finally, not a new person, but a person in a new position: Prudence Chase, Michelle French, and Kirsten Renna in the foundation office. Can you please stand so we can acknowledge and welcome any of you? Not seeing any of those folks. So we continue to expand the College of the Desert family in order to support the students that are so central to everything that we do.
Thank you so much, President Hope, and congratulations to our employees. At this time, we'll be looking at the minutes, approval of the regular meeting minutes. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the regular meeting minutes of March 15th, 2024? If there are no corrections to the minutes, they stand approved as presented. At this time, we're going to go into our reports. There will be a 5-minute timer on for all reports. Associated Students, College of the Desert, Ascot has no report today.
Madam Chair, we actually do have Kelly Garcia here to give an oral report.
Oh, good. Okay, Kelly, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
All right. It's wonderful to be here again in this room, and this time in person. I was trying to do Zoom last time, but that did not work because we were in DC. Anywho, speaking of the National Student Advocacy Conference in DC, we were able to learn about advocacy at the national level. We advocated for the reauthorization of the Higher Education Act, which has not been updated since 2008. The expansion of the Pell Grant to increase its amount to account for inflation and extend its period from 12 semesters to 14 semesters. And finally, we advocated for the DREAM Act of 2023, which would allow immigrant students without lawful status who were brought here as children grew up in the United States to earn lawful permanent residence and eventually American citizenship. We started to build a relationship with the Office of Raul Ruiz, one of the Valley representatives. We informed his staff of the Dreamers Resource Center we have here at College of the Desert, and they seemed eager to plan a visit. Besides that national advocacy on the federal level, we were able to tour both the White House and the Capitol buildings, which are both U.S. historic landmarks, and we were able to visit many memorials such as Lincoln Memorial, Korean War Memorial, and the Vietnam War Memorial, amongst many others. So overall, it was a fabulous time, and it helped us reflect a lot more on the nation as a whole. Anywho, aside from that conference, we also attended the Student Senate for California Community College General Assembly. Here we connected with many community college student leaders from across the state. We discussed and voted on about 60 resolutions put forth by student leaders. The approved resolutions will serve as top priorities for the SSCCC for the year to come. Speaking of the SSCCC, we were able to vote for future leaders. I am proud to announce that our very own Officer of External Affairs, Felipe Robles, was elected into the Officer of Communications for Region 9. We are proud to support him in his endeavor and looking forward to strengthening our relationship with the SSCCC in the following year. Outside of voting, we attended informational workshops about federal advocacy, diversity, equity, and inclusion, imposter syndrome, and many more. I am proud to say that the 7 students who attended the conference made it the most memorable. As it was my last conference with ASCOD, I am happy with our progress since my first. This conference was not only a great learning opportunity, it helped strengthen our bonds and friendships, as well as blow off a little steam through good times and laughs. ASCOD applications are still open. We are coming up on our deadline for ASCOD applications. We had set up a couple tabling booths on both at Indio campus and the Palm Desert campus, where we inform students of our wonderful Student Senate. Our deadline closes today at 12 p.m., so just in a few hours. And to conclude, last night was our 2nd annual spring event, this year going by the name of Coachella. For those unfamiliar with the event, it was a festival-type event planned for the students by ASCOD and the Office of Student Life. We had 3 student DJs, Vanessa Braden from Roadrunner Radio, Martin Guevara from the ICC Vice Chair and President of the International Club, and our Officer of External Affairs, Felipe Robles. We were able to have a dance floor, games, and food, which included bacon-wrapped hot dogs, very yummy, and slushies and raspados from Luigi's Sushi Life, also very refreshing. We had about 100 attendees at this event. I wanted to thank the Office of Student Life for being a huge support system during this event. At the last minute, we had a change of circumstances and had to adjust very quickly. Student Life was prepared to guide us in this situation. Mayelina, Danny, and Anna are truly supportive, caring, and hardworking staff. They were instrumental in the execution of this event. We also want to thank Pledge for sending volunteers our way on such short notice. Finally, I want to thank ASCOD for the planning and staffing of this event. Though our schedules are very busy, some took the time to be there and support. I want to specifically shout out our Officer of Communications, Donovan Upp, and our very own student trustee, Isaac Sarko, for being dependable and reliant through the entirety of this event. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Kelly, for that wonderful report. It's great to know that you guys had an opportunity to get to Washington, D.C. I wish we could get every student back there at some point in time so that they could see our Capitol. I think it'd be a wonderful experience. And I'm sure that last night's event was absolutely wonderful. I wish I could have attended. So at this time, we'll move on to College of the Desert Foundation. Kathy Abbott, Foundation Executive Director.
Well, good morning, Board of Trustees, COD Student Trustee Zarko, Vice Presidents, and Interim Superintendent President Hope. Stepping out for College of the Desert was a huge success. We want to thank our presenting sponsor, the Green Family Foundation, and Jim and Jessica Green for their ongoing support of the event. Clay Walker did not disappoint, and he entertained the crowd with new, old, and cover songs, which Val and I had fun singing too. We are pleased to announce that we slightly exceeded our goal of $650,000. All proceeds will benefit the Fund for Student Success, which allows the foundation to help the college respond quickly to meet some of the most pressing initiatives on campus, as well as enrich academic offerings. We have a few gifts that we would also like to inform the board about. First, we want to thank Jordan Schnitzer and the Harold and Arlene Schnitzer Care Foundation for the generous contribution of $225,000 over the next 3 years. $150,000 will go to Stepping Out for College of the Desert at $50,000 per year, and $75,000 over the next 3 years, so that's $25,000 per year, to support Roadrunner Essentials, which is President Hope's umbrella program, prioritizing 4 key areas to improve student access and to help meet their basic needs. Unless basic needs are met, students choose jobs over education. They may not enroll at all, or they may take longer to complete. These are transportation, textbooks, COD central pantries, and the Student Emergency Fund. In addition to Mr. Schnitzer's generous investment, the Bob and Connie Lurie Foundation have also stepped up and awarded another Lurie Challenge grant of $150,000 over 3 years. This funding will also help support the Roadrunner Essentials program that I just described. And finally, regalia. As graduation is upon us, the foundation is thrilled to announce the foundation will be purchasing the regalia for all graduating students in the class of 2024. Thanks to generous donors to the foundation, this is just one small way the board of directors can allocate funds and contribute directly to support students who are ending one chapter and getting ready for the next incredible journey in their lives. Thank you.
That's amazing. You did say they're purchasing it, right?
Thank you so much to the foundation for that. What a great graduation gift. I know how
You can say that again.
difficult it is to pay for that stuff if you have to, and you.
I had to ask if I heard it correctly.
Yep.
That's incredible. Thank you. Oh, wow.
It's just a wonderful gift. You know, all of our students can participate. We hope if they can get the night off. I know that's still the other problem. So next we have California School Employees Association, CSCA. Omar Fimbres, please step forward.
Good morning, trustees, President, Superintendent Hope. Today, as president of CSCA, I come here as the voice of all members. Many of them are watching online while continuing to provide services for our students and staff. I ask our new communications officer, Carlene Hart, to join me as she is the one who has been helping me and the previous president write board reports even before she was elected to this position. Very much appreciated, Carlene.
Thank you.
CSEA members have been busy helping students apply to COD, and on April 12th, over 300 high school students visited the campus to register for classes. There are 2 more high school visit days scheduled later this month. CSEA members have been busy helping students complete their financial aid applications. Staff have been working together to ensure our students know they can register for classes, even though their financial aid awards are delayed again. As you know, the new process has been delayed many times while the federal government has tried to address problems with this revamped form. Kudos to all staff who are diligently working throughout this process and providing excellent service. On April 11th, CSCA members welcomed the COD class of 2024 to GradFest. Students were able to register for the ceremony, pick up regalia provided by the foundation, decorate their graduation caps, have professional graduation photos taken, and speak to reps from various four-year colleges. It's great to see students wearing their graduation gowns, caps, and stopping at their favorite campus location to snap photos with friends. These students will be graduating on May 21st at Acrisure Arena. Our CA members from all service and instructional areas will be there to help this a memorable experience for our students, their friends, and families. CSEA members have run into some difficulties with professional growth and staff development processes. In the last 2 months, the district has denied multiple professional growth applications and all the staff development applications. We do not believe this has happened before. For staff development, human resources could not find paperwork that was submitted over the last 12 months. Once provided additional copies, the applications were denied. Unfortunately, the current contract language does not allow CSEA to grieve the Vice President of Human Resources decision. This is something we will work diligently to change over the next few months during our contract negotiations. We are optimistic that President Hope will provide guidance as she shares our desires to provide classified staff with as many opportunities as possible. As you are aware, CSEA members voted and approved our initial proposal for negotiations. This document was submitted to the district in early March. We look forward to working together to negotiate a fair contract for our members. We ask President Hope and the board to ensure the district has a full 5-member team like we've had in the past. This concludes my report, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. Have a great morning.
Thank you very much for that report. A lot of information in it. At this time, we'll move on to the College of the Desert Adjunct Association, CODA report. Kathy Levitt.
Madam Chair, Kathy told me this morning she's unable to make it today, but we do have her report in writing.
In writing. So we will read that and consider everything in it. Thank you. College of the Desert Faculty Association, CODFA, has no report today. And the Academic Senate also has no report today. The Governing Board, Student Trustee Zarco, do you have a report, please?
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing good, great, fantastic, and all that. I hope everyone had a good spring break. As the semester comes to an end, I have that feeling of accomplishment tapping my shoulder. Although the end is near, there is still work to do. On April 3rd, ASCOD held its 4th Lunch and Learn in the academic year, with the topic being about our very own ASCOD. With the good turnout of the event, this was a way to spread more awareness about ASCOD. It has also gave us an opportunity to promote our applications for students to run. An ASCOD student panel was held, and the questions were related to the journey of each of the panelists in ASCOD. The event held positive engagement and had us ready to complete our last Lunch and Learn in May, held at the Indio campus. What stood out to me the most, though, was me being the presenter for this event. As this was my first time doing a workshop-style presentation, it reminded me of my time in my public speaking class, the different styles of speaking and how to apply your characteristic and traits to the delivery. It inspired me to create more workshops and see what I can do with presentations in the future. That same weekend, myself and my peers in ASCOD attended SSCCC, the General Assembly. At this event, we networked and connected and attended multiple workshops on advocacy, modern issues, finances, and much more. Attending really opened up my eyes on how much I've grown as a student leader, but also as a person. As I compared my experience from last year to now, from how I walk to how I talk, the difference was night and day. On April 18th, ASCOD held its Coachella event. As I was appointed as MC, it added on to my love for speaking and the engagement with the crowd. Seeing my peers and friends at this event reminded me why I love being in ASCOD so much. To help bring people together for a good time, as this event reflected similarly to our Sunshine Soiree event last year, that I compared myself once again to that the discovery was there that I thought. All this growth, all this improvement, what does that show? Well, on April 4th, I faced one of my biggest fears, flying. I took a plane for the first time, and to me, it was a better experience than I thought it would be. I figured out that the fear is not of heights itself, but the process of reaching them, and that speaks volumes. For a majority of my life, I've always looked at fear as something you don't bother facing. I mean, why would you? You're scared, right? But as of recently, I've just been thinking about attacking fear head on. Fear could be seen as a motivator instead of a barrier. Fear is a feeling that taps on your shoulder. The fear of finals, the fear of that one work project, the fear of an economic state deficit, and how that would affect you. Push through your fears, whether that's by yourself or with help. I know that this college is strong. We are a team. We have been a team. But I believe that the only way we could push through our fears is if we work together efficiently and remind ourselves why we do what we do. Thank you. This concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Student Trustee Zarco, and I'm glad you got on that plane. And at this time, Trustee Oden.
Well, last week I was supposed to be at Haku, but I had some personal issues arise and I was unable to go, but I did attend a 2x2 meeting in Palm Springs and a webinar on parliamentary procedures. Want to just give you a heads up, May 13th through 17th, I will be out of town. My grandsons are graduating, so I'll be in New Orleans. Wow. One to high school, one from high school. Proud grandpa.
That's it. Okay, and at this time, Trustee Gonzalez, your report, please.
Good morning, everyone, again, and thank you for joining us today. I want to welcome and congratulate all the new employees and those of you receiving a promotion. I also want to extend our condolences to the family of our faculty member. So, kind of a somber. I also want to thank all the students and staff who presented their proclamations. I love that we start our meetings like that. It just kind of fills your soul, just to hear all the wonderful stuff. And, even the report from faculty, it's good for us to know, how you're feeling and the concerns that you have. I definitely want to give a big shout out to the COD Foundation. It's amazing. That's, wow. That's all I can really say. I also want to appreciate all the students and staff who organize and participate in all the many events that are going on. Unfortunately, or fortunately, actually, I shouldn't say unfortunately, my job prohibits me sometimes from joining some of those celebrations, but I love to see the pictures and, see on the website everything that's posted. It's just really awesome to see all the support that faculty provides students, and I'm sure students provide each other. So it's just really wonderful to see all of that. And I can't forget our athletics department. I just want to say, thank you. I see your emails all the time. I watch the scores and all that. And I just also want to thank all the students who participate. I know that's a lot to do, right? To keep up with studies. And I know probably some of them even work and they're playing sports. Like that's really amazing. Student Trustees Zarco, what you said today was just so awesome. I just want to, say congratulations to you. And you're right, fear is an interesting thing, right? Very interesting. But I'm sure that you're going to conquer lots of stuff in your life, not only fear. And with that, I'm just really looking forward to commencement. You guys see me on the stage, I like to hug people, and it's just so amazing because I know how hard it is for a lot of our community members to, to complete their AA and even go on to transfer to other degrees. So just thank you, everyone, and just looking forward again to commencement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Trustee Gonzalez. And for my report, it's going to be very short because after our last meeting, unfortunately, I got sick or I didn't get better. So I had to recuperate over my spring break from my school, which is the week after I was ill, and which was after our meeting. And I am so grateful that everybody makes reports, written reports, and sends them. We receive them through the president's office, the board members. We get to see the photos, we get to see the reports, and then we get to come here and we get to see written reports sometimes. But even if we get to hear reports and we get to see people here, it's really great. But it meant a lot to be able to receive those emails because I was vicariously able to participate with you through many of the things that we're supporting our students. And I've said it, I think every year that I've been on the board, you're probably sick and tired of hearing me say it, that to me, graduation is the biggest holiday of the year. It's better than Christmas, it's better than any time of the year. And I'm getting geared up for it. You know, if I could decorate the house for commencement, you know, that would be the only thing. I'd probably be the only person in the valley that would have this phenomenal house. But sorry, but I'll be there, and I'm going to be there with bells on my toes this year, I think, to try to make it even better than it was last year. So I hope you'll all be there. I know you're all supporting our students every way you can, and it's just so heartwarming. And I love to hear everything that our students are doing that's positive and getting there. And, you know, I think Trustee Gonzalez alluded to this. You know, sometimes we hear things in the reports, we might not want to hear it, but we need to hear it so that we can alter it. We can make it better if we hear the negative things too. So please don't hesitate to tell us if there's something that we need to improve on, some way that we can make it better for our students, better for our college, better for our communities. We need to hear that as well as the things that are going well and going great and how well our students are doing and all. We need to know where we're falling back as well. So with that, I will move on. And Superintendent President Hope, will you please provide your report?
Yes, thank you so much, Chair Stefan. And Isaac, thank you for everything that you just shared from the dais. I think that all of us really experienced that, you know, the way you've talked about that transformation, and I've personally seen that transformation in both you and Kelly. You know, that's the reason that we're all here, is to support that transformation. So congratulations and thank you. I do want to note that it's been a difficult time for the last couple of weeks because of the death of Dr. Kathy Enciso in the English department. That we've had two really significant losses this year with two of our faculty. I had the opportunity to meet with the English department and Dean Pappas and had a conversation with them about starting a Puente program at College of the Desert in order to honor Kathy's memory in a way that is enduring and does credit to as much as she loved students. Kathy started in 2005, so she had made a lot of meaningful contributions to students here and to college programming here. And so I just want to acknowledge the painful time that it's been for our colleagues, for us, but we all need to celebrate and support our students for commencement in her name and in the name of the rest of our team. I want to also note that at the dais, at each of the trustees' places, there is a document that outlines our re-enrollment plan and our growth plan. I want to thank Nicholas Robles for preparing this document, providing an overview of the budget situation in California and our specific strategic directions around growing enrollment in the next year. This next year is going to be critical to the college in terms of recovery because we're being rebenched in 2025. So I would direct your attention to that particular document and thank Nicholas again for its preparation. We'll be sharing this with the community as well to try to explain some of our focus areas. To that end, Omar made reference to the high school day that we had. I know Amanda is here. Amanda and Katie have done amazing work with our promotion of enrolling our high school students. We had 320 students get enrolled in one afternoon. And that is fantastic work. So Amanda, if I can have you stand up and take a bow. And Katie as well. Katie is not here, but a lot of this work is attributable to Katie, and I hope you'll express our gratitude. We have two more events, and we expect the same results from those two events, which are obviously part of our recovery as well. I also attended an ACCT event, the GLI Summit, with Trustee Gonzalez in Long Beach. Attended the Foundation Senior Inspiration Awards for the county, in which our own foundation member, Marge Dodge, was honored. And so that was a wonderful event. Catherine mentioned the success of stepping out, and the amount of time and energy that it takes to put into stepping out is immeasurable. She had 2 wonderful co-chairs, but it also takes a lot from her team in order to organize. So I want to specifically thank Catherine and honor Catherine's efforts, because it doesn't happen, automatically. It takes a lot of organization and sweat equity. I also want to note that the faculty have had a work group to explore potential bachelor's degrees that the college may pursue. 3 applications came in, one for business management, one for hospitality management, restaurant management, and casino management. Is it okay to share, Val, where the decision? Okay, so the faculty are recommending that the college pursue a bachelor's degree in casino management. And so the growth rate of jobs in that particular sector is 60% over the next 5 years, with a starting salary of approximately $80,000. So because we have a lot of community connection to our casinos, and we have the hospitality growth at the Palm Springs campus, we think this will be a great direction for us, but it is not the only bachelor's degree we are looking at. We're also rallying ourselves around the idea of conferring the BSN for nursing. So we'll be giving the board more communication about those directions, but these are exciting times, and I'm really appreciative and grateful to the faculty for all the hard work they put into not only creating the proposals, but also evaluating those proposals. Attended a 2x2 for the city of Palm Springs with trustees Oden and Kinnaman. I also had an opportunity to visit the architecture and construction management projects at Amistad High School this week. And our 3rd tiny house is being built, and it is nothing short of amazing. So I can't wait for everybody to see it. I'll just preface it by saying it has a wave-shaped roof. So I know we're all going to be excited. It'll be done in June. So I hope we have an opportunity over the summer to tour it. And the students were really proud. I also joined the Academic Angels and Vice President Garcia. He and I gave a presentation about the Schnitzer Museum proposal, and we will be visiting him in May to work on a letter of intent. And like all of you, I'm excited for commencement too. So thank you for all your hard work. I know this is a big push at the end of the semester, especially for students and faculty and staff. So we just gotta, kind of hunker down and get to the finish line so we can celebrate together. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful report. And I'm interested in getting inside that building that's over there at Amistad. Last year we had that kind of butterfly-shaped roof that everybody was, flabbergasted at. How's that going to keep the rain out? It's not going to leak in. And this year it's going to be a wave. So hopefully we'll have a wave at graduation. Big wave. That'd be cool. Okay, so that brings us into consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be considered for approval by a single vote without discussion. Any board member may request that an item be pulled from the consent agenda to be discussed and considered separately in the action agenda. Are there any requests to separately consider any of the consent agenda items?
I do, Madam Chair. 10.1, PO number 072039.
EO, what was that number again?
072039. And under 10.2, number 21. That's all.
Number 21. Okay, anybody else have any items to be pulled from the consent agenda? No. And I do want to make note for the record that Trustee Kinnaman came in, and hopefully a little later we'll have an opportunity if you have a report to give, okay? Okay, so at this time, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended, which is with 10.1 and 10.2 being pulled.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote, President Hope?
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Perez. Trustee Odin.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman. Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And at this time, we will move into all items that were pulled from the consent agenda will be added to action 12.1. So now we're going to action agenda, and we're going to start with item 12.01. And the first item that was pulled was the former 10.1, and it will become 12.01. And at this time, could I have a motion that, to approve the new item 12.01?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second that we approve item 12.01. Is there any discussion? Do you want to pull out the one item and separate it out?
Thank you, Stephen.
So at this time, we'll be pulling out PO from item 12.01 to consider separately PO 07203. 7203, was there a number after it?
39.
39, okay, I apologize, I copied down the 9. Okay, and that is the General Obligation Bond Fund Measure CC Series A Palm Springs Campus. So the motion now on the floor is to separate the two items. And that's it, right? Okay, so can we have a second to that motion? Because that was her intent.
Right, but you can just ask if there are any objections.
Oh, are there any objections? Okay. Seeing no objections, can we have approval on item 12.01 with the omission of PO 072039? I need a motion.
No, I move.
And I need a second. Okay, I've got both. Did you get that? Okay, thank you. And is there any discussion on the main part of that motion? Seeing none, can we have a roll call vote on that part, please?
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Perez. Trustee Odin.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Nay.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, and then the second half of that is to consider it'll be 12.02. Is that correct?
No, you did
Yes.
a motion to separate.
Well, we already got the motion to
Right, you've
separate.
done that, so you've handled one.
Okay, so that was one.
Now you need to do the other, which is you separated
The
out.
second half.
Correct.
Which is the PO, so we don't give it a new number.
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I was curious about. Okay, so now we're on to the second half, which is PO 072039.
No. Yeah. Number 21. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, ma'am.
Oh, we already finished the other one, both parts.
No, you're correct, Madam Chair. What you've done is you've separated.
Uh-huh.
You called a vote for the approval of everything except the PO to.
The PO 02072039.
Right, and that carried, so you've approved everything except that, and now
Okay.
you need to take a motion to do that, because what you did was a motion to.
So now we need a motion to,
The motion's already on the table, so you just need to discuss.
okay,
Give
so
option
now
to
we're
discuss.
discussing the second half of that motion, which is PO 072039.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay, any discussion now? Would you like to speak to your,
But we already voted on it.
so we already voted. We only
Ma'am, you
voted
voted
the-
on the, so what you did, you separated them, so you made one motion to.
Separate.
Right. Everything except the 2039, sorry.
Yeah.
So you approved everything except that. Now the only thing left on the table is PO 72039. So you have discussion on that. If there's no discussion, you move to a vote. The vote on the table is to approve that.
Yes.
So you would vote
Okay.
either yes or you would vote no.
Okay, so we're going to be voting next on the PO 072039. So is there any discussion on that item?
I know for me, again, I've stood pretty firm on that, our data and, expert advice against this campus, so. That's all.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, we will take a roll call vote on this. PO.
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Odin.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Nay.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, now we're down to 12.02, which was the former 10.2.
Yes, ma'am. And I believe that the trustees would like to remove 21. So again, you're going to
Would like to
separate.
separate.
Right, so you're going to do 2
21.
votes again this time.
So this time, we will be first voting on to approve 12.02 without item 21. And I want to tell IT, I really appreciated having the PO up there separate last time. Thank you. And this is, it's the next one down though this time. Okay, so this will be 12.02 without number 21 included. And I believe
Yeah, Stephen's pulling that up.
he's pulling that up now.
It's the, no, it's not that one.
It was the former 10.2.
That one.
And it's number 21 that we're looking at that we're pulling out of this, but we're approving everything but that
Thank you,
on
Stephen.
the first vote. If we could have a motion, correct?
Right, so the motion you're looking for, Madam Chair, is a motion to approve
For approve,
at 12.02, formerly 10.02.
formerly 10.02, all except number 21 in this document.
So that's a different motion. I would advise that if you first put the motion on the table.
To separate it out.
Nope, just put the motion on the table for approval in its entirety. And then it feels like the will of the body is to then separate 21 out. So the chair would then ask, are there any objections to removing 21? So to divide.
Okay.
Then
so-
you're saving yourself some steps, and I think it'll be more clear in the voting that way.
Question, Madam Chair?
Yes.
Couldn't the recommendation be just to approve with the exception of 21?
Yeah.
Yes, and then nothing happens to 21. So then you would need to make another motion
Motion
to
to-
bring it onto the table. So you're going down the process twice.
Okay.
Okay, so run me by the process we're now going to take. It is to approve item 10 or 12.02 that was formerly 10.02.
Yes, ma'am. That's the motion you're looking for.
That's the motion I'm looking for. Okay.
I know it gets confusing, right?
Anybody want to make that motion, please?
Can I make the motion as stated by the chair?
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
A second. Now, discussion. You would like to pull that item, is that correct? Number 21.
Yes.
So now she's pulled that item. Do
No,
I
she-
need to
He
have?
wants to divide the item.
He wants to divide the item.
And you can just ask if there are any objections to dividing.
Okay, are there any objections to dividing? Seeing no objections, we will go back to considering 12.02, which was formerly 10.02, with the now exclusion of number 21. Is there any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, can we have a roll call vote on that? Quick, before he changes it.
Yeah, let's hurry while we're doing it. Okay, student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Oden.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Abstain.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye. And now we'll go into 12 point. The motion carried, okay. Motion carried. Thank you. Now we're going to consider 12.02, number 21. Could I have a motion on the floor for that?
I'm sorry, this is confusing. You already have a motion.
Oh, I have a motion,
ma'am.
so I just have to ask, is there any discussion on
Perfection.
that
Yes,
second
ma'am.
part?
That's it.
See, I'm confused too.
Okay, so now, what would you like to say?
I just need to abstain, just out of precaution.
I knew that was coming, so I was like, we just gotta get this part out. Okay. Okay. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, could we have a roll call vote on this one item, please?
Yes, ma'am. Student trustee Zarko.
We start all over.
Trustee Oden.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Okay, now is the proper time to abstain.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Whew, okay, now we can move on. Okay, now the rest of the action items. We are down to 3.01, Chapter 3, Board Policies, second reading. Do I have a motion, excuse me, to approve item 13.01 as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Oden.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Sorry, aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And now, 13.02, Chapter 4, Board Policies, second reading. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, President Hope. Thank you.
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And the next one is action under Human Resources, 14.01, presentation of the initial reopener proposals from the California School Employees Association to the Desert Community College District. Do I have a motion to approve item 14.01 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? President Hope, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And now the presentation of initial reopener proposals from the Desert Community College District to the California School Employees Association. Do I have a motion to approve item 14.02 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If we could have a roll call vote, President Hope.
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And at this time, we'll move into action items, administrative services, 15.01, certification of signatures. Do I have a motion to approve item 15.01 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
And is there any discussion? Seeing none, could we have the roll call vote, President Hope?
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Perez. Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And now it is resolution number 041924-1, authorized signatures. Do I have a motion to approve them? Item 15.02 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, President Hope.
Student trustee Zarko.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And now budget revisions. Do I have a motion to approve item 15.03 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, President Hope.
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 15.04, resolution number 041924-2, authorization to encumber funds for the following fiscal year. Do I have a motion to approve item 15.04 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, could we have a roll call vote, President Hope?
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Oden. Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And next is the notice of intent to award NOIA, a contract for the Barker Nursing Renovation Project. Do I have a motion to approve item 15.05 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? President Hope, roll call vote, please.
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Oden.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. 15.06, resolution number 041924-3. Do I have a motion to approve item 15.06 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, President Hope.
Student trustee Zarco.
Aye.
Trustee Oden.
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Aye.
Trustee Stefan.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This concludes the action part of our agenda. At this time, information, Board of Trustees, 16.01. April 2024, the capital projects report. And it is in, I believe we each have one of these folders in orange, and you'll see that it is in there for you to look over. If there are any questions from the board, we do have Robert Roscher from MASA here to address them. Any questions? If you have any questions at a later time, please direct them to the president's office so that we can try to get any questions answered. We don't want you to be sitting there with questions that are unanswered. Okay. And at this time, 17, information, human resources. There's an RFP CEO search update. This item is being presented as information only and no action is needed from the board. And we do have Jake, our general counsel, available in case there are questions.
Chair Stefan, Vice Chair Gonzalez, members of the board, I'll just give a very brief update for the public mostly as to the conduct of the search process. We do have the materials, Chair Stefan, as you mentioned, in the board package, but just want to make sure that our constituent groups and members of the public know that as the board directed at its February meeting, staff did put together an RFP to find a qualified search firm to find our next permanent president superintendent of College of the Desert. That RFP is on the street as we speak, and responses are due by May 3rd from qualified executive search firms. Once we have those responses, we'll be evaluating them, and the board will have an opportunity to interview folks from those search firms and see presentations from them at our May meeting, and we anticipate that we'll have a search firm in place and under contract by June and be off to the races and ready to move forward with this very important project. So just an update for the board, but as you're all well aware of the process, really want to make sure that the public knows that the process is moving forward.
Okay, any questions from anyone on the board at this time? Okay. Again, if anything comes up that you have a question or concern about, please let the president's office know so that we can get those concerns or questions addressed, okay? And moving on to 18, Information and Administrative Services. 18.01, Chapter 3, Administrative Procedures. This item is being presented as information only. If there are questions, we can address them. Otherwise, no action is needed from the board. And are there any questions on the procedures? Also, 18.02, Chapter 6, Administrative Procedures. This item is being presented as information only. If there are questions, we can address them. Otherwise, no action is needed from the board. Are there any questions on any of these? And 18.03, Chapter 7, Administrative Procedures. This item is being presented as information only. If there are questions, we can address them. Otherwise, no action is needed from the board. Are there any questions? Standing operating procedures for public safety officers. This item is being presented as information only. If there are questions, we can address them. Otherwise, no action is needed from the board. Are there any questions? Seeing none. Again, any of these information items, if there are any questions or concerns that do come up, please let the president's office know so that we can get them addressed. And that brings us down to number 19. This is the start of the study sessions. So we have 19.01, COD Economic Impact Study by Lightcast. President Hope, would you please help us introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. When I arrived in July of 2023, one of the first questions that I asked is whether or not the college had conducted an economic impact study. It's typical for us to do that sort of thing every 5 to 7 years. It had been 9 years since the college had conducted an economic impact study, and it's important information not only for us, but also for our community and our constituents to understand the important role that the college plays as an economic engine in the Valley. That's true not only because we award degrees and certificates and improve the employability of our students, but we also improve their capacity to spend, our employees spend and buy homes, support local businesses. In addition, we have our capital projects that also bring money into the Valley. So looking at that more holistically is really the job of that type of analysis. And we've asked Rhea Toves from Lightcast, who conducted the analysis for us, to join us today for a brief study session. In addition, the trustees all have some written collateral for your review. We have a fact sheet, which you all have at your seats. Sort of a little poster element of this, an executive summary, as well as the full report. So there's a lot of information there, and if I can say, a lot of information for us to be proud of in terms of the economic contribution that College of the Desert makes to this vibrant valley. So with that, I'd like to ask IT to call up Rhea Toves for her presentation. There's a lot of complex analyses that goes into making these conclusions. And Rhea has been working with us the whole time, and I think she's the best representative to help us. And I'd also like to thank the IR team, and because they've also worked closely with Lightcast in order to provide this data. So Rhea, can we turn it over to you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, President Hope, for the introduction and the backstory of our economic impact study. Thank you so much for having me today and in the discussion of the economic value of the College of the Desert. Next slide, please. Thank you. So, given our short time together, I will be breezing through these slides, and I just request that questions will be held off to the end. And so just a little bit about Lightcast itself. We've been working with higher education institutions for over 20 years. We've completed over 3,000 economic impact studies, and there are a little bit of extra facts. Next slide. So a little bit about the study itself. The economic impact study is comprised of two parts. The economic impact analysis focuses on the data question at hand. If the College of the Desert did not exist, how would this impact the regional economy? The second part of the analysis is the investment analysis, which focuses on College of the Desert as an investment for three different stakeholders: the student perspective, the taxpayer's perspective, and society's perspective. Next slide. So when we're looking at this analysis, we're looking specifically at Coachella Valley, which is comprised of Riverside County. We're measuring these economic impacts in terms of income, and so it helps us contextualize these results when we look at the gross regional product. And so we can see that the GRP of Coachella Valley is $97.4 billion, and there are over 1 million jobs within the region. Next slide. So in fiscal year 2021 through 22, which is the year of analysis that we have done the study on, you have served over 14,000 credit students, over 1,600 non-credit students, employed over 800 employees, and to those employees paid out $80.4 million in payroll and benefits. You receive $5.8 million in tuition revenue, and 7% of your students are from outside of the county. And so the reason why we bring up these data points is because these are the initial points that we are using within the analysis. And these really set the stage for these students and employees that you are serving throughout the year. So starting off with the economic impact analysis. So we're looking at 4 impacts. So first, a little bit about the methodology is that when we're looking at these impacts, we're taking a more conservative approach. We're really looking at the jobs, at what jobs and what income would not be in the region if not for the college. And so we're also measuring these impacts in added income, as I stated. And again, we are taking a more conservative approach as this makes our results more defensible and more accurate. So the first one we're looking at is the operations spending impact. This is generated impact from your college simply operating. So initially we're looking at payroll paid out to employees, day-to-day spending, operations spending, and it generates $94.9 million in added regional income, which supports a little over 1,000 jobs. Moving on to the construction impact, we're looking at any of those larger capital improvements or new buildings that have happened during the year. And we follow the same approach with operations spending impact, and we see that $7.4 million in added regional income supporting 88 jobs. So moving on to the student spending impact, in order to assess this impact, we break students up into 2 groups: retained students and relocated students. So retained students are defined as students who would have left the region to seek education elsewhere if the college did not exist. And relocated students are defined as students who were originally from outside of the region and relocated into the region to attend College of the Desert. So again, students spend money on gas, groceries, rent, and we want to see how those dollars ripple throughout their regional economy. And so we see $20.1 million in added income supporting almost 300 jobs within the region. The alumni impact, moving on to this is the bigger one. We like to talk up and down about this one as it's looking at the human capital that you are creating within the regional economy, which leads to workforce development, economic development, and really is talking about the story as to how you are serving your students. So we see that the alumni impact generates $255.7 million in added regional income, supporting almost 4,000 jobs. So we're able to sum the impacts for a total of $378.1 million in total income added to the region. This is about 0.4% of the region's GRP, supporting over 5,000 jobs within the region. Moving on to the investment analysis, we're now going to switch gears into looking at the state of California. And so the student perspective, we're looking at the increase in earnings that they'll be able to see as a result of attending College of the Desert during this year. So we take a look at what they're able to earn throughout or gain throughout the year, and project this increase in earnings across their working lives. We then bring this into today's terms and we compare this to their costs as tuition, supplies, and opportunity costs, as we know that students forego working full-time in order to attend and learn at College of the Desert. So we can see that we come down to a benefit cost ratio of 52.6. And this is a huge talking point, and it's showing that for every dollar students are investing within the college, they're going to walk away with 52.60 back across their working life. For the taxpayer's perspective, we are looking at what were the added tax revenue that was received from local and state funding. We also include what we call government savings. There's a lot of literature out there that ties higher education to reduced crime, reduced unemployment, reduced drug use, and so we can see how that can be saving the public sector money. So we're able to factor in those savings as well. And it's not listed here, but the benefit cost ratio is 0.9, which is showing that taxpayers will receive 90% back of their valuable investment to COD. So with this in mind, a major factor in all of the benefits that students receive is because of the taxpayer's investment. So this brings us to the social perspective. We're specifically looking at the growth in state economic base, future earnings, tax revenue, and private and social savings. As a result, we see that students will earn $10.70 in benefits, this will accrue in society within California. Excuse me. And so overall results, we see that total income added to the region, 378.1 million, which is 0.4% of your GRP, which is supporting over 5,000 jobs. We see that the benefit cost ratio for students is 52.6, and the benefit cost ratio for society is $10.70. And these are a few last slides to talk about the next steps in sharing your results. Send to the executive summary to state legislators, talk to local businesses, partners, use social media to get your results out there. And there are further slides that show real life examples of different institutions and how they have used their results and shared. So that is all I have today. And I just wanted to open up the floor for any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you very much, Rhea. Trustees, does anybody have any questions? I've got one. You said our last one of these was done 9 years ago. What was the bottom line then when it came to the overall results? Do you have that information or not?
I don't have that off the top of my head, but I certainly can send the previous report, because we actually dealt with the same consultant at Lightcast with the initial contact who had conducted the previous study. I think one of the things that I recall having compared is that because the area has grown so much in the last 9 years, obviously the impact is significantly greater. And for the society at large, for every dollar invested to have $10 back, and for students to get $56 for every dollar, is pretty amazing result. And I'm happy to share that study that was done almost a decade ago.
Okay, thank you. The other question I have, I don't know if it's going to have any meaning or not, but I noticed this was done in 21-22, you said. And that was right after we started reopening up after COVID. I'm wondering if we redid this study for, 3-4 years after that, if it would come back higher, I would hope, but I'm just out of curiosity.
Yeah, Rhea, you may want to speak to that. I think the one area that Rhea and I discussed was the fact that especially as it relates to our capital projects. We didn't have a lot of capital projects going on at that time. So the impact of the Indio expansion, for instance, or Roadrunner Motors, or some of the other things that we have moving forward, were not calculated within that span. And I think if we were to do this study in a few years, you would see a significant difference there. Rhea, did you want to speak to that at all?
Yes. So, right, this analysis was done on fiscal year 2021, 2022. So it is a snapshot of that year. And so it really depends on, like you said, the capital or the construction projects that were done during this year. And so if we were to analyze a different year in the future, your results would definitely vary, and I'm assuming increase if the region continues to grow and you continue to do those types of projects.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rhea.
And any other trustees think of anything in that amount of time? I'm sure if we come up with something else that we can address our questions again to the president's office and get answers. Yeah, and see what the difference is, since that was just right after COVID.
If I can add too, one of the things that I've discussed with the researchers who conducted this study is also doing a more programmatic analysis of impact. So for instance, if we look at a sector like healthcare, what is healthcare as a program, contributing to the local economy? So we're starting to talk about those kinds of evaluations because we know that that helps in our planning. And it also helps our students as well. And so we're having that discussion, and I certainly love the board's feedback on thinking about, that particular direction.
Yeah, I think when Dr. Garcia was here, we had talked about that, but we weren't able to complete it. But I think that's extremely beneficial. So, we're not guessing, we know.
Yes.
And also taking into consideration, lithium and all of that.
So thank you for that feedback.
Good idea.
I think that's a great thing as well, because we're considering the baccalaureate programs, to consider them in that, your future studies like that. That's great. Okay, see we can feed off each other. Okay, that's great. Thank you very, very much for that wonderful report. Aria Tovis is a great analysis there. And thank you to everyone that helped with all of these things. I know I'm going to put this up and where I can look at it and see how great we are. We got the numbers to back us. Here we go. So the next thing, the foundation Great Alumni Hunt. President Hope, could you please help us introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, we had a previous presentation from the foundation about the exciting and fun results from the Great Alumni Hunt. And thanks to the work of the foundation, we've got additional analysis that gives us a little bit more disaggregated data. So I'd like to introduce our foundation executive director, Kathy Abbott, to introduce this item.
Thank you. Again, I think it's really poignant that we're talking about an economic impact study where you saw that our alumni really do play an important role in supporting the economic infrastructure of the Valley. As you recall, last October and November, the foundation launched the very exciting Great Alumni Hunt campaign. It was important to us to, as Laura just mentioned, disaggregate the data that we collected from the found alumni and then put it into a presentation that really helps tell the story of the impact of the College of the Desert to our former students. So here with us today to present the findings is the Foundation Database Manager, Amanda McCarthy.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to kind of repeat some of what Kathy just said, to just say, as you may recall, we embarked on a quest to find as many COD alumni as possible, and with the help of our fantastic student teams, we located alumni from all over our country and the world. Once they'd been found, we asked them to complete an online survey, the first part being simple questions, such as graduation date and job title, and the second part was more in-depth topics, such as their experiences, memories, and the impact COD has had on their lives. So where did we end up? We received nearly 2,000 entries during this event. Once the duplicates and invalid submissions were removed, 1,671 unique alumni records remained, and these were our found alumni. The following is an overview of the data collected. So if we first asked, were you the first generation in your family to attend college? 49% said yes, 40% said no, and 11% did not answer. The next question we asked was their education level. 5% had high school education, 28% had a bachelor's degree, 15% had a master's degree, and 2% of our 1,671 actually had a PhD. We then asked which four-year university they went to. 48% did not answer, 29% went to a Cal State campus, 7% went to UC campuses, 15% went to other universities in the United States, and 1% attended university overseas. The next chart, we're looking at Cal State attendee by campus. Of our 1,671, 494 went to Cal State campuses. Understandably, San Bernardino is the highest representation, but there's a fair representation across all Cal State campuses. The next chart looks at UC attendance by campus. Again, 123 of our 1,671 went to UC campuses. Again, not surprisingly, Riverside is the highest representation, but we're still represented across all of the UC campuses. The next slide is the number of universities that our found alumni attended. So of our 1,671 found alumni, 876 went to one university. Of that 876, 57 went on to a second, then a further 9 went on to 3 universities, and one of our alumni went on to 4 universities, so goodness knows what they were studying. Okay, next slide, we're looking at the employer's industry. So 467 of our respondents did not answer this question. 139 went into the service industry, 381 into education, 163 into the medical field, and 312 into other industries. We also have local government, law enforcement, hospitality, and retirees in our pool of alumni found. Anyone who's good at math around this table will tell you that there is only 1,670 numbers represented on this chart, and they would be right. There is one missing, and that alumni worked for Playboy. I was unsure whether to put them in education or service industry, so I'll leave that one up to you. The next slide, we're looking at the birth year of our alumni. Amazingly, we did find one of our alumni with a birth year. They were born in the 1930s. However, unsurprisingly, the vast majority were born in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, which isn't surprising, even though it does make me feel old. These slides are looking at location data. So where are they now? As you can see, hopefully by the little dots, they are well represented across the entire United States. They are in 29 of our states. Plus, we have 2 in Germany, 2 we found in Japan, and 1 we found that's living in Mexico. If we're actually looking at the numbers, not surprisingly, California is where the vast majority of our alumni reside, but there's also a decent representation in Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Texas, and the little one over to the right with the little box is actually one in Rhode Island. If we're looking at the state, again, not surprisingly, the vast concentration of our alumni are in the southern part of California, but we do have some representation in the northern part of the state as well. Looking at the Coachella Valley cities, there is broad representation in all of our cities. However, I do want to make it clear that this is where they live now, not necessarily where they lived when they were going to school. We're now towards that second part of the survey where we're asking them more in-depth questions about their feelings, anyone that impacted them, and so on. So these are the results of those questions. We asked, did you participate in any extracurricular activities while attending COD? Our alumni said the MESA Club, Biology Club, Chemistry Club, Women of STEM Club, National Science Foundation internship, and NASA internship. Whenever this person had time to go to class with all of that, I do not know. I was a math tutor at the tutoring center. Someone said they were president of their nursing class and volunteered to take notes for a blind student. We asked, how did COD prepare you for your current position? Our alumni said, it showed me that even though I didn't go to a 4-year right away, the underdog can always prevail with hard work. COD provided most of the prerequisite courses needed for my doctoral degree. Someone else said, graduating from College of the Desert was a dream come true. I made a vow when I was 15 that I would graduate from COD, and when I did, it was one of the proudest moments of my life. This was when I decided I would not stop going to college until I became a special education teacher, and have been for almost 30 years, and am still a special ed teacher with Palm Springs Unified. One of our respondents said that I'm currently a flourishing local performer and have appeared in a high-profile YouTube series called No Cover. The vocal program and music professors were huge influences on how I approach my performing techniques. So I found him.
Holidays, colder nights, foggy haze, sullen lights won't matter when I'm with you. Traffic jams, longer lines, pitchy bands, darker times won't matter when I'm with you.
We asked, will you share some of your fondest memories about COD? Our alumni said, I met the Lakers when they'd practice in the gym. The PR manager took a liking to me and I got to shoot some hoops with Magic Johnson. Although I already had my master's degree when I took those 3 classes, they were the best 3 courses I had ever taken. The professors were thorough, present, and knowledgeable. The class sizes allowed for them to get to know us and offer the best educational experience possible. Someone else commented that they liked the accounting rap song that Mr. Girardi showed our accounting class. Mr. Hazan was an awesome teacher. I thought this was particularly poignant and wanted to include it. My professors, each and every single one of them, was committed to the success of the students. The high quality of the lectures, the curriculum was excellent. Also, the resources COD had available to all students. The foundation, for example, the scholarships available through the foundation got me through my education. I was an AB 540 student back then. No financial assistance or grants such as FAFSA were available to me. Every little helped me pay for my classes and textbooks. Forever grateful to College of the Desert, professors, and donors. We asked what surprised you most about COD. Our alumni said, hasn't come up yet. The quality of the professors surpassed those at the university. Being able to take courses in high school to get a head start in college, that there was a childcare centre. How big it is, they have so much going on. If you told me it was a small 4-year college, I would have believed you. We asked, did a professor, instructor, staff member, or student make an impact on your education or life? These were some of the most frequently mentioned staff. Our alumni said, Ms. Fry knew just how to make us scared enough to get all the work done. Bert Batanga inspired me to go back to college and complete my degree 28 years after I had dropped out of college and complete my bachelor's degree. In light of recent news, I wanted to highlight this one particularly. Professor Catherine Enciso. Professor Enciso enjoys teaching and it shows. She sets up her class in a way that makes learning unavoidable. She is great. I would take more classes that she teaches anytime. My personal favorite is my PageMaker teacher, who had a crush on Tom Selleck and incorporated him into the artwork we designed in her class. I mean, why wouldn't you? Finally, we asked our alumni to upload a photo. Keep an eye out for the alumni born in the 1930s. I'll give you a clue. She's right towards the end. And there she is. Now we've seen and heard from our alumni, I think it's poignant for us to remember that these alumni are our friends, neighbours, doctors, nurses, teachers, and law enforcement officers. They are the people sitting next to you at a restaurant, in the next car at the traffic lights, the people you chat to while waiting for your morning coffee. Perhaps they're the person making the coffee. They are our mothers, fathers, grandparents, and children. They are family. They are our future. They are College of the Desert, our College of the Desert. Thank you.
Does any of the board have any questions, comments? I'd like to say something. My hat goes off to you. It was going to go off to you at the beginning because I thought, you look like you enjoy playing around with data. But your presentation of data, I mean, you know, anytime somebody talks about statistics, I wish I had a copy of this to show them. Statistics does not have to be boring.
No.
It can be exciting. And you really made this come to life for us. You brought it back home, what our college is doing every single day. You know, the numbers are great. I really appreciate getting the numbers and knowing what the data and the numbers are and how we're impacting people's lives. But seeing it on their faces, the final thing, that is it. And hearing the comments that the people made, you know, and these are people that have not been here in a number of years, most of them, and we didn't know where they were. And to have that coming home, that really means a lot to me, and I'm sure it does to my fellow trustees. I think we're just in awe at this point because this is just statistics brought to life. Thank you so very, very much. And thank you very, very much to the foundation for doing that. I bet that was a blast for all of our students here. I just can't imagine them not enjoying, you know, getting these kinds of, being able to participate, finding these people and digging them up, you know, so to speak, without digging them up, literally.
Thank you very much.
So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And at this time, we're going to go into our public safety updates and protocol. And President Hope, could you please help us introduce this item?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This is actually the first of two presentations based on requests we got from the trustees at the last meeting about public safety. And given that it is increasingly on our minds as the world changes and remains volatile, one of the things that we wanted to do was provide you with an overview of how we prepare for emergencies, how we address large events, how we respond when that's needed, as well as our safety protocols. And then the presentation in May will address more about student conduct issues, processing threats, analyzing threats, and also supporting our students when they have unique needs and challenges. So with that, I'd like to introduce Vice President Garcia, who is going to be a co-presenter. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Hope. Good morning, Madam President, Board of Trustees. As President Hope said, there's going to be a presentation about public safety updates, and it's my pleasure to introduce our Director of Public Safety, Dr. Tim Nakamura.
Good morning, Madam Chair, President Hope, and Board of Trustees. I'm Dr. Nakamura. I'm going to go ahead and give you your public safety update. And let me make sure that I know how to do, okay. COD Public Safety continues to foster the positive relationships with our local law enforcement agencies, and these partnerships have facilitated continuous strides in enhancing public safety for the district. This is done basically through weekly meetings that we have with our local law enforcement to discuss current issues that affect the district. We also invite law enforcement to participate in our annual security report and crime prevention events. Our relationship has resulted in improved response times and better coordination. It has also enhanced communication between the district and, for the Palm Desert campus, the Sheriff's Office. This has improved the handling of potential situations affecting our surrounding areas of the campus. As far as an update here, we have that currently our standard operating procedure handbook for public safety employees was updated and approved by the Safety Committee and the College Planning Council this year. And this new update was required based on the new legislation from the Chancellor's Office incorporating the Campus Climate Act. And one of the main things and points about the Campus Climate Act is basically this is from the Chancellor's Office making a shift from a warrior to a guardian mindset for its public safety and law enforcement personnel on college campuses. For safety protocols, if an incident occurs on campus, what occurs is this: there's a response, there's a call that's made saying that they need public safety for some kind of event or some kind of incident that occurs. Our officers respond. Once they're there, they assess the situation, find out there's resources that are needed, whether it's fire, EMS, law enforcement, or additional personnel to deal with the situation at hand. Once they assess it, they connect with our dispatch. And something about our dispatch is that our dispatcher for College of the Desert is a post-certified dispatcher. We are currently looking for an additional evening dispatcher and an evening supervisor to continue the continuity that will help assist our officers, specifically in the evening hours. And that's been placed on our crew. And once they connect with our dispatch, the call for additional resources and so forth goes through. And during that time, dispatch is in constant communication with the officers and with myself. As I find out what's going on in real time, I then communicate that information to the executive cabinet, specifically President Hope, and they get a real-time information of what's going on for the incident that's occurring. And I keep them updated and abreast of all that's happening for those incidents, whether it's something as simple as a fire evacuation drill or something going off to anything else that occurs. Monitoring systems. We have a camera upgrade and expansion project that we're working district-wide. Recently, I2 Technologies was contracted by the district to provide an assessment and give guidance on updating the current camera system and coverage. This is basically to enhance the public safety of the campus through these cameras. The current operating camera placement at the Palm Desert campus happens to be the Cravens Building, Child Development Center, DSPS, and the Math Science and Technology Center. We also have some cameras on the Mecca campus and Palm Springs campuses as well. The proposed camera placement that we're looking into is going to be various locations across the district in indoor and outdoor common areas that we will be improving upon. For communication updates, for communication improvements, we have identified radios that will allow communications across all districts' sites. So Indio can communicate with Palm Desert with Palm Springs, and so on and so forth. And we are currently in the process of purchasing those radios. This will improve the district-wide communication during the day-to-day operations, as well as the event in the event of a district-wide emergency or disaster. We currently use, on top of that, we currently use the RAVE alert notification system for mass communications, and that is being updated as well through a project with IT, and that is to collect and process emails and cell phone numbers from staff and students. And that's a continuous, ongoing process that we do every semester. In support of large events for the camp or for the district, what we do is pretty much what we do for everything that we've done since the beginning, which is asset protection, crowd management, emergency response, preventing disruptions, access control, legal compliance, and we work to strengthen the public perception and trust. Some of the past events that we've had that we were able to help mitigate with issues were unpredictable things like weather. We had to deal with a hurricane last year, Hurricane Hillary, rain, wind, heat, cold, storms, everything else that has been thrown at us, and it sometimes impacts the day-to-day operations of the campus. Fire hazards and crowd control. The biggest thing that we do thus far and on an annual basis is also the 4th of July event, where we have a lot of community members come through onto our campus to enjoy the fireworks, so we have to deal with things like that. And of course, you know, sometimes with that comes the hazards like fire and crowd management. We also deal with the transport of traffic on and off campus as well. And again, sometimes those crowds do deal with, have disruptive incidents like harassment and assault from attendees. After each large-scale event, we do what's called an after-action review, and that's when we grab all the folks that helped out, as well as participants, and we say what was good, what was not so good, and what could we constantly improve on. And we get our assessments from that as well. For risk assessment, the very first thing that we do for those large-scale events is basically recognize the potential risks that occur, whether that's a political gathering or some kind of sensitive gathering. We find out what's going on and find the key elements to ensure the event safety. We understanding that what the event is like, depending on what it is and the nature of the event, making sure the surroundings for the event are secure and that there's no issues for that. And we also always create an operations plan for each event that occurs. For training, we are big on training for emergency preparedness. The district has established an emergency operations center, an organization chart, and has implemented emergency operations center training. Trustee Kinnaman will remember a few years back, we ended up doing a significant training for all the executive cabinet and leadership. Since there is or has been a turnover, we will be reinstituting additional training for the new folks that have joined us. We do have ongoing ALICE training, which is, if you're not familiar with ALICE, it's for the active shooter awareness. And so far, ALICE, the program has trained over 5,200 employees and students on this for this district. We also have a building captains training program that assists on disasters to help evacuate buildings. We've trained nearly 100 employees, and every flex, just about every flex, we do a live fire suppression class where people come through and they learn how to use the fire extinguishers and the basics of fire suppression. And of course, we always do and participate in the annual Great Shakeout. Rounding off the edge here, we continue to provide ongoing emergency preparedness trainings to include, like I mentioned earlier, establishing the incident command training that we'll be hosting for some leadership, and to include, we are working to include an annual active shooter drill if possible as well for the district. And we continue to assess the current procedures and implement any improvements necessary to maintain a safe learning and work environment for our district. And with that, that concludes my report. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Any trustees?
No questions, but thank you. And I'm really happy to hear about those radios. I know we've been talking about them for some time, so thank you so much. I'm glad that's moving forward. I'm sure it'll be helpful.
If I can share something too, about 4 months ago, I observed the officers in Tim's department doing this. About 4 months ago, we had a protest on Fred Waring with about 100 protesters. And in some cities, that's become, it was over a very hot issue. And our officers held back, watched, waited, didn't need to do anything, but they were ready. And they assessed the situation throughout. It was very helpful.
And I just wanted to talk real quick about the size of some of these projects. So the radios are one of the key components that we're looking at. The camera is another key component. It's a significant project that we're doing. Currently, we have probably close to around 20 cameras across the district. This new implementation project is going to bring our camera count closer to 267 cameras. So it's a significant amount of cameras across the district, of course, not just in Palm Desert.
I wanted to share something. Last meeting, I went out to my vehicle, and my boyfriend's out there with his car, and he's looking at the tire, the front tire on my side. I guess I weigh too much. I don't know. It was flat, and it was a new vehicle, and he didn't know really how to use the jack. So we're getting the jack out, and first we had to locate it, and then we're trying to get it to work. And one of our public safety officers came by. Another individual from the college community came by. He was trying to help, and give us advice and stuff. But when that public safety officer came by, he knew how to use that jack. He got that up. He got that tire off. Man, it was like, I'm saying, we should just call AAA. We should just call AAA. The thing was done before I could say it too many times. And, but the thing was, it was that sense of security, and that sense of security, knowing that all of our students here have that access to help readily available there. I don't think it was afforded to me. I'd taken my badge off. I was kind of tired. I was disheveled looking. So, and I know the president had come out and said, "Is everything okay?" Yeah, everything was fine. We have public safety, and they're there to not just make sure that things go smoothly around campus, to make sure that everybody feels safe and secure here. And that is really saying a lot for our campus. And I want to say thank you to the young officer that helped us, and we really appreciated that. And to the Public Safety Academy, kudos. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. I've never seen you guys miss a beat on stuff. And I know sometimes you come in and you train us on things, and it's just really a great feeling knowing that you're there, knowing that we can rely on you, knowing that there's a trust with our students and our Public Safety Academy here. I've gone to a lot of presentations throughout our state and throughout the nation with other trustees, and I always walk away thinking, we've got the best. We've got the best. We don't have those other issues that they're dealing with. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you, Vice President Garcia and Dr. Nakamura, for this wonderful presentation today. Thank you for the update, and if you ever need to come to us and tell something we don't want to hear, please do so. We're not going to shoo you away. We want to know what we need to do too, okay, to make things better. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's the last of our study sessions. Now we're up to public comments. This is 20.01, request to address the Board of Trustees regarding matters not on the agenda. Remote public participation is allowed and will be accepted in person by email to otp@collegeofthedesert.edu during the meeting and submitted for the record, or by using the raise your hand function by joining the Zoom link. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes per topic. All comments must be submitted or brought forward prior to the end of the public comments section. As an additional note, this item is intended for members of the public who wish to speak regarding matters not related to the agenda. Do we have anyone that had made a request to speak to the board? And we do.
Yes, we have some folks here in person who want to speak. Yeah.
Oh, great.
All right. We thought we were on the agenda, but maybe we were in the wrong place. I don't know. But here we are.
It's okay.
We're from COD Roadrunner Radio, your music, your voice, your station. So we are over there at the Media Center, and thanks to you, we went to New York because our station was nominated. Are we on this agenda? Okay.
It doesn't matter, we'll put you, let you here.
Okay, so we were able to go, and I'm a retired school teacher of 30 years and also a product of COD Roadrunner Radio. COD. I retired, and then through life's things, I'm back. So I was able to get on with the Media Center, have a certificate in RTV this spring, and then also go for an AA for DDP, Digital Design Media. So because of you, we rolled up to New York City, Times Square, and we were at this huge conference with all of these big colleges.
The intercollegiate broadcasting system.
Yes, so there we were. We decided to split up with the sessions and everything and then come back. What we realized is that in each session, when we were in the same session, we would say, we know that. You know what I mean? We know that. So the difference was they had like big staffs, you know, big university and everything like that. But we knew the goods. And so I took away two things. One was the impact that our media station could have on our local community and on our college. So we came back fired up. Tomorrow we're participating in Please Tune In, Vinyl-thon 2024. It's in conjunction with College Radio Days. So please, codroadrunnerradio.com. It's your music, our music, your voice, your station, all day, all vinyl. You know what vinyl is? You know what with the needle? Okay.
Got a lot of those.
Yes, and so I guess the last thing I want to say is that I'm thankful for the Media Center. I'm thankful for the professionalism that they teach us and the hands-on learning. And so we have been, since we've been back from New York, we have been going out into our community and covering events and inviting people in. So thank you so much. You changed my life. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for inviting us to come here and speak on behalf of COD Roadrunner Radio. Not only that we've had opportunity, I've been a student there since pre-pandemic, and just rebuilding, rebranding into the station we are today and being invited to New York was a great experience. And also, I just believe in what we can do for the community with the students. And there's a niche out there that we can collaborate with the local community. Since we are such a small valley, there's so many things that we can do in our behalf to connect everybody.
And there's Scott. He tells us what to do, Scott Colwell. And we work with Laura Lee Jackson as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. And I know the board wants to thank you for being such wonderful ambassadors, not just in New York for us, but also here at home. And we're going to have to tune in tomorrow.
Yes, please. All day, 9 a.m., all the way to 11 p.m. Just get on there. Turn it on in the background. All kinds of music. Go to the website. It's our station.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to speak? Oh, one more.
Yes, we have Dr. Hassan here as well who wants to speak.
Good morning, President Hope, Chair Stefan, Vice Chair Gonzalez, trustees, vice presidents, student trustee Carlos and Armando. Art has the unique power to transform, to inspire, and help people in so many different ways. And today I have the wonderful opportunity to introduce Andrea Calderon, who is our Marks Art Gallery assistant, to discuss and personally invite everybody to our amazing upcoming student art exhibit that she has been working tirelessly and diligently to curate. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Andrea Calderon.
Hello, good morning, board members. I appreciate this opportunity to connect with you, and I would like to extend a personal invitation to our upcoming student exhibition, Desert Connections. The artist reception will be held Thursday, April 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Walter N. Marks Center for the Arts. The exhibition is currently on display and will run until May 10th. So I hope if you can't attend the reception, I hope that you can stop by during the run of the show until May 10th. The show was named by one of our students, and it promises to be a vibrant celebration of creativity and community engagement. It features art for sale in the gallery, an exciting art market outside, live musical performances by our music students, and a student car show. I trust you've witnessed firsthand the rich tapestry of programs and events offered by our center. The programs reflect our dedication to fostering creativity and nurturing talent among our students. Your presence not only supports our students, but also allows you to experience firsthand the impact of our programming. Increased accessibility would foster greater public awareness of our growing art program and attracting more participants and potential students. Thank you for your ongoing support and dedication to the arts. I look forward to seeing you at Desert Connections during the artist reception, April 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
We brought you some flyers as well.
Oh, good. Something else for us to attend. Next. And I will share that I've been to these in the past, and I always walk away buying something. I'm terrible.
Madam Chair, that was the final public comment for this morning.
Okay, thank you so much, and I want to thank Dr. Hazan and Andrea Calderon for that presentation. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Future agenda items. Trustees, please, if you think of something you'd like to share and you forget to share it with us today, just call the president's office so that we can try to get it on the agenda or on a future agenda so we can get it on there quickly, because I know some things have short lifespans almost. So future agenda items. Student trustee Zarko, is there anything you'd like to see?
None at this time, thank you.
And trustee Oden?
Nothing at this time.
Trustee Kinnaman's out of the room for a moment. Trustee Gonzalez?
Probably just some of the same, the 2x2s. I know we haven't finished up with those, and the presentations that I've requested. Okay, thank you.
And if you ever have a question about whether something's on when it might be scheduled for, you can call the president's office and check too. I think you guys have got kind of a rough schedule on when we're going to get the two things. We're trying to do that now. Date people. Okay, at this time, I'm not going to share anything new right now. At this time, we're going to go to closed session, recess to closed session. And the live feed of this meeting will continue. Board members and President Hope, I ask that you please join me in closed session at 12:15. Am I the right time or am I a goofy time? Yeah, that'll be fine. 12:15. And just in case you're wondering if you're in the audience, we do reconvene to open session at the end of closed session that you can watch it on live stream as well. Okay? So the board will now recess to closed session. went to sleep. That's all. That's okay. Okay, here we go. The board will now reconvene to open session at 1:15? 1:14, okay. And we have nothing to report out. But before we adjourn, I'd like to ask everyone to please join me in a moment of silence to remember Kathy Encicio's life and the impact that she's had on all of us. And we're all very grateful for the time that we were able to share with her. Thank you. I will now adjourn the regular meeting of the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees at 1:16 p.m. Thank you. Is that close enough?